Hi. Let's talk about Warhammer. So, my name is Shield. I'm just a guy with a mic who really loves Warhammer and has been dying to talk about it to anybody who will listen. It's gotten to the point where now I need to talk to a fucking video. Nope. So, just bear with me. This is all my opinion, and I'm just a guy. I've got, let's see, 970 something hours. Not incredible compared to some of the other people in the community. But, let's talk about Warhammer. Put in the comments what you think about my tier list. As you can see from all just the fun meter, this is all personal opinion. I just want to talk about my favorite shit in the world. Let's get started. Just to go over first, I want to talk about my mindset as I'm walking into this tier list. Always fun, self-explanatory, 20, 40, 80 turns. It's always going to be a good time. Even late campaign, I've never done a domination victory, but if I was going to go for a domination victory and throw fucking 100 hours of my life away, it would be on one of these races. Usually fun. These are races that either I can only tolerate once in a while, or I just generally only return to every so often. We're talking, Kislev is one of them, and now that Kislev has been reworked for the umpteenth time, um, I am playing them again, whereas before it was 3 months ago, and then probably in another 3 months I'm gonna play them. So every so often, not often fun. Same thing, but on the other end, these are also races that I don't mind playing. I will play every now and again, but I simply don't find them fun. Right? Put a gun to my head. These are gonna start being the last things I'll ever want to play. Always on fun. I just hate this shit. I just will not play it. I don't even want to see it in the fucking faction selection. Ugh. Wild card. These are reserved for things that have certain special elements. Like we're thinking, spoiler alert, I'm gonna put Zinch in here because of the Changeling, and the Changeling is obviously by definition a wild card. Um, there's also this is also reserved for races that I frankly haven't played. Spoiler, that's gonna be Pretonia. So just keep in mind that's what we're going to be seeing. Let's just start from where this random tier list I found on the internet brought us. So Dark Elves. Ooh boy, this is actually I have not played Dark Elves in a long time, but I always really enjoy them. So they're usually fun. I really enjoy the Malekith campaign. Marathi is my favorite, but I have really fond memories of a good Crone Hellebron campaign. Um, they're very strong, very powerful, great economy, great army, great roster, great mechanics. I mean, like every other race, rising tides sink ships, right? I mean, look at the position the High Elves are in. But I would say that they've been doing a pretty good job of keeping them in front of the pack. Dwarves. Oh boy, that's another usually fun. Again, I usually enjoy it. It's just I'm a weird dude, and when I play my Warhammer, I like to have unique music, which is legitimately the reason that I'm always playing Empire instead of Dwarves. It all runs on the Empire OST, as far as I understand. And if I want to listen to the Empire OST for the next 100 hours, I'm probably playing Empire. High Elves, always fun. I'm a big fan of the High Elves. I always find them fun. We talked a little bit about when we were talking about Dark Elves, but Rising Tides have begun to sunk the ship. They have started, even though they have gotten no changes or very little changes since they were brought into Warhammer 3. Um, they've just started to fall behind as all these other new factions get newfangled stuff. They're starting to flounder. Hopefully, they're coming out with the Slanesh DLC, but we shall see. Actually, talking about the faction itself, good economy, great trade. I really enjoy influence at the court, especially when you start stacking handmaidens on top of it. You can make friends with Archaon, which is hilarious. Uh, you can just do a lot with them, and they're just very simple. I really like them. Tomb Kings. I'm gonna put this on wild card because I simply haven't played. I just do not really vibe with the dynasty mechanic. Someday I really want to sit down and learn it, but that day is not that day. It's not today. Grand Cathay. Now that's always fun. I always love Grand Cathay. I'm a big Meow Ying simp, I'm going to be honest, but I also do dabble in a bit of Yuan Bo. I even listened to him read me out a nice audiobook of his little thing on the way to work over a span of a few days. But again, same thing as the High Elves. Honestly, I would just say Cathay and the High Elves are, apart from their faction mechanics, practically the same idea. You want to turtle up with very powerful infantry and then just have very powerful range to destroy them. That's a lot of races, but I feel like it's very particularly pronounced with how these two operate. Bretonia, said it earlier, wild card. Haven't really played it, just don't really care to. The Empire of Man. Oh boy, always fun. I just don't think there's a bad campaign. I mean, there's ones that aren't necessarily to my taste, which is I'm thinking Wolfric, or no, no, not Wolfric, the Huntmaster who starts in Lustria. Um, Not to my taste. A very interesting conceit on the typical Empire playing, but just not to my taste. Whereas Gelt and his Cathay rework is amazing. I really enjoy Elspeth. Carl's good. Uh, Volkmar is where I really sat down and learned the Empire, so I have a special place for him in my heart. But admittedly, I haven't really kept up with him. Um, so it's just always fun, just always a good time playing the Empire. Strong roster, strong factions, strong mechanics, just a good time. Great job with the TOD rework. Uh, Greenskins, always fun. Yeah, I know. I said Greenskins earlier. That was going to be unusually fun, but no, Greenskins always fun. It's the antithesis, and spoiler alert, of the Beastman experience. You do the exact same thing. You just ruin everyone's day, except I simply enjoy the greenskins more. Again, very big, great army presence. You have so many options. Them and the dwarves as well have so many units. You can actually just create themed armies. You know, we're thinking Slayer armies. We're thinking Savage Orc armies. When you have so many units, you can create functional themed armies. I think your roster's in a good spot. Beastmen, just not often fun. I feel like I'm doing the same thing as I'm doing with Greenskins, except there's unit caps and no empire building. That's a lot of people's thing, but not mine in particular. This is corn in general, so I'm gonna do usually fun with corn. I'm a Nurgle guy. You know, it's two flavors of the same ice cream. We both want to throw our dudes at the enemy. Nurgle wants to outlast him. Corn just wants to fucking kill him. But because ultimately it's about throwing your melee units at him, it's not all that crazy, not all that different. But you know, I'm a Nurgle guy. I'll play Nurgle. Kislev, usually fun. Usually have a good time with Kislev. Their rework in the 6.1, the one that came out just a few days ago, at time of recording, really, really good. I really enjoy it. I think it adds a lot to it. The devotion mechanic needs to be looked at, but hey, what does it these days? Um, just strong stuff. I really enjoy Ostankia starting in the Kislev area in Immortal Empires. That's really cool. Lizardmen, just again down to the I haven't really played it. Norska, I would say Norska gets kind of a bad rap. I think Norska has a lot of really quick units and really heavy hitting monsters and a lot of chaff. I think it's a cool roster. I think it could obviously be expanded, right? But I don't know. I think old Wolfric and the Troll King gets a bad rap. Though I will say, no, no, no. The guy who fights Stars at War with Tamerkan is Warriors of Chaos, so he is exempt. Yeah, this is just Troll King and Wolfric. So I'm gonna say it's usually fun. I'm not gonna pretend I played a whole lot of Norskin campaigns, but I don't remember any of them that I hated. Speaking of Nurgle, always fun. Just my preferred Chaos experience. Simple as I really enjoy the way that cyclical buildings will slow down your growth, but it feels rewarding because all your individual units are extremely powerful. You can't expand as quickly, you can't build as quickly, you can't do anything as quickly, but when you do get there, when the boil that you've infected the land with festers, it's unstoppable. And I really enjoy that from a thematic level. I really enjoy it from a gameplay level. It's just awesome. Always fun is going to be ogres after the big ogre haul. Golg cigarette man eater. Wow, I think that might actually be one of the best factions in the game. I think every Total War should have a Golg cigarette faction. Um, I did an empire builder on Greasus. That was fun too. The camps aren't as great in an empire building campaign, or camps are always effective, but I should say they fit in a little stranger in an empire building campaign. But they're still really fun. I did a little bit of Scrag. I just don't like his starting spot. I think fighting the empire as ogres is boring, and but Greasus is great. Gold Cigarette is great. Scrag is probably great, but his starting area is not to my taste. Wild card, Kairos, or excuse me, not Kairos, Zinch. um, so I would say honestly, Zinch, as we know now, is just Kairos and the Changeling. And the Changeling is as unique as Gold Cigarette, just in the other direction. Most people don't seem to like it. Creative Assembly themselves called it a Marmite faction, where you either love it or you hate it. I love it. I really think it's cool to be able to tip the scales one way or another in the AI campaign and decide who wins what war and leech off the victor and this, that, and the other. I think it's really cool. So I'm actually gonna put them in usually fun. There is no wild card. I know that I enjoy both Kairos and the Changeling myself. I'll be looking forward to the next Lord. Always on fun. Skaven. This makes me sad. This makes me sad. I hate that I don't like the Skaven. I don't like fighting the Skaven, and I don't like playing as the Skaven. I'm not good with routing. I'm just a skill issue there. Kill me. And I don't like their weapon crews, though it is hilarious that friendly fire is on for them, and they love it. Uh, I played a very good. What's the? I always try to pick up a Ikka Claw campaign and just never seem to get too far. I just don't think I like the choice between Bretonia or I think it's the Empire to his east. Uh, and then I did a really good Clan Moors campaign, Queek Headtaker. That was really fun, getting Carragate Peaks away from the dwarves. Yeah, good time there. But I would say that's pretty much the only time I ever really enjoyed Escape campaign. Wild card is Slaanesh. Never played Slaanesh. Don't plan to play Slaanesh until the expansion comes out. I've heard Slaanesh is kind of enjoying something of a renaissance within the community because they are the focus and people are looking at them more. But I mean, I'm just gonna wait for the update. I've waited this long without playing Slaanesh. I can go a couple more months. Demons of Chaos, always on fun. I think that they have a great idea here. Build your own lord, build your own experience, build your own campaign. It's just not fleshed out enough. You always start like any other Chaos faction in the Chaos Wastes. Change your Demon Prince's name a little bit, cool. Change his outfit a little bit, cool. But ultimately, you're still just another demon faction in the Demon Lands. I appreciate that it has a very varied roster from by way of being able to access all the demons, but I don't care for it. Vampire Coast, Wildcard. I've simply never played. I booted up a whoever the Davy Jones guy is. Booted him up, fought 2 battles, just said no. I do plan to return, but at some point in my life. Vampire counts. Usually fun. Actually, the first faction I ever played because they looked fucking awesome. First faction I was ever exposed to in fantasy Warhammer just looked awesome. Usually fun. They're very simple, but very straightforward. But I mean, shit, very fun. Warriors of Chaos, always fun. No, I'm not gonna tell you anything new here. S tier. After their rework, their recruiting is fun. Their upgrading is fun. I think their upgrading at the very least needs to be looked at and brought to the rest of the game because there is nothing more gratifying than watching a group of marauders become chosen of X, and the fact that you can't turn peasant spearmen from Cathay into celestial defenders or whatever they are is really sad if you've had them for 100 turns. Um, so I have nothing but good things to say about the walk. Warriors of Chaos, I'm always having a good time. Wood Elves, I would say not often fun. Their campaign vibe is simultaneously complicated and simple. The internal workings are simple, but what you actually did, or excuse me, the internal workings appear complicated, but what you actually do turn to turn is very simple. And I can't say that I like their roster any more than the other elves. In fact, I like them quite a bit less. The Deer Knights are cool though. Chaos Dwarves, not often fun. I know, I know. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot, and that's why I don't get the Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves, they're going to ask you to think about your resources. They're going to ask you to think about the campaign map very hard, harder than any of the other faction. I would go as far as to say. And if you answer wrong 10 turns ago, you will feel it 10 turns later. Um, Additionally, their roster on the battlefield map it's pretty fun. I actually, you know what? I'm just gonna say it on the battlefield map. It's pretty fun, which is why I'm not bringing them to always on fun because I hate the campaign experience, but I love the battle experience. Just throwing legions of laborer, excuse me, greenskins at the bad guys, and then just watching your dwarves come in from behind or do any number of strategies you can do. It's really cool. So that's really it. I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out here and see honestly for myself where they would end up. You know, as I'm looking at a tier list in front of me, where I would put each thing. Um, Give some order to my thoughts, and I would say this is pretty accurate to my usual ruminations. Um, all right, well, hope you enjoy my opinion. Later.